All right, so today we're talking about opinion versus truth, so to speak. Um, we're going to talk about it in a few different ways, aka people living their truth versus what's really happening out here in the world and what is the truth. Um, we're also going to explore, I guess, for lack of better words, gender pronouns and I came across a YouTuber who was just asking a simple question: "What is a woman?" Because apparently, all those these things that we thought we knew, we don't quote unquote know anymore. People are saying it's not a real thing; it's a social construct. Um,
What, a man and woman? It's a social
yes,
construct. Being a
yes.
man and a
Well,
woman.
this is the okay. Well, we about to dive right into it. This is what he was saying. He was trying to base it on biology. Okay,
Mm,
makes sense, right? Biology.
right.
Well, the one that reproduces is the female.
Anatomy, right?
Exactly. You know what I mean. And
Yeah.
one who plants the seed, the male, man and woman.
Hmm.
He came up against and these were not lay people. These were doctors. We're talking about. And one of the doctors said that it's a social construct. Whatever. If you feel like a woman, you are a woman.
Mm.
If you feel like a man, you are a man. I don't know what feelings have to do with it, but apparently, of course, she is a backer of. She does what do they call it when you switch over? I'm not, I don't. I don't. I'm
Transgender.
not. What'd you say?
Transgender.
Yeah, she's a transgender doctor, but she helps with the transformation, the you know what I mean, the surgeries or everything and the hormones, everything you need to become a woman or vice versa, a man. She's what do they call it? I don't know, gender assignment. I think she was calling
Yeah,
it something like
gender
that.
assignment.
Something
Mm-hmm.
like that. So, all right, all right, let's go strictly off of people saying that they're living their truth. Let's go there first because I hear this a lot, especially out of younger people, and it's a whole thing, whole what I call the whole TikTok universe. You know what I mean? Everyone's living their truth, and if if you disagree, or it's okay to disagree, but still it's their truth, even if it's not the truth. So what do you guys think about that? I mean, am I explaining it clearly to you, or you
Yeah, I
want to ask?
think. Yeah, I think you're explaining it pretty clear because I think we're all experiencing it. Like we're all experiencing this whole change, this whole shift, and in society where, um, this whole thing about gender is all in question now. It
Yeah.
wasn't in question before, but now it seems to be a question. It's not a question in my mind, but recently I heard of the term gaslighting. Right,
Yes.
I
Yes.
wasn't I wasn't sure what it meant,
Yes.
and I found out it was a whole movie and all, based on people were trying to make other people think, I guess, what they believe or what they know to be true is in question
Mm-hmm.
or it's not true at all. I guess that's what it means. And
Yes.
so I kind of feel like that's what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I think uh, those of us, from previous generations or, grew up with the typical idea of what a male and a female is, we're now having to go back and, or at least, um, I don't know, at least define what we believe is to be true or not true, or I don't know why it's a question. It seems to be. It seems to be here in this country though that this
Yes. Well, yeah.
is an issue.
Yeah, you got that
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
I don't think this is a question. This is an issue around the world at large. I don't think it's really an issue. I think this our unique situation here in America is the reason why we're having these discussions. But I don't think the rest of the world.
So, well, all right. Now I gotta ask you, what is our unique position? Why can't we? What is so unique about us that we can't figure out what a man is and what a woman is?
Yeah, um, there's not really unique about us. It's just America has a big, is a big fish in this on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of lead in thought and in a lot of different other aspects of life. And so we kind of export these ideas to other people around the world. Um, and then, things here, everybody, because of because of the civil rights movement and people fighting for their rights and what's happened over history, I think you have groups that are trying to exert their power.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's causing this whole discussion.
Okay. All right. All right, Sean. Let me ask you then, Sean. Um, what do you think about it, and especially in these terms? I mean, it's getting to a point. The movement's getting to a point that it's getting strong enough that I mean, our elected officials are taking notice and starting campaigns based on it, or you know what I mean. They're telling you what side they're on. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, gender, for me, there are only two genders because you can only either be an X, an XX or an XY chromosome, right?
Okay.
Unless you have something else going on and you might, your chromosome structure is off, right? However, so there's only two biological genders, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Female and male are names that people have given to the two genders.
Mm-hmm.
Not that so I think it's more in a naming construct. So if someone is feeling like they're a woman, I don't I don't I can't, well, I don't know because I'm a woman, so I feel like I'm a woman, right? All the time. But I feel like people that I come in contact with, they may feel like a woman, but maybe it's because they just feel if it's a man, maybe it's just that he feels softer or more emotional or something of that nature and not the traditional male as men are normally portrayed as hard and uncaring, uh, very limited in feelings, not showing their feelings even if they have them. So
Mm-hmm. Right, well, okay. I'm put some more fly in the ointment. All right, Bug. Is a transgender woman a woman?
You put me on the spot.
Yes. 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 Or let me put it this way.
No, no, no.
You tell me from your perspective, what is a woman?
A woman is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful soul. It's a beautiful person that is a gift from God. Basically, a woman
All
is a
right,
gift.
but going by what you just said right there, can't
Yeah, it's
can't,
like
can a man feel that way?
huh?
Going by what you just said, can a man feel that way?
Yeah, I struggle with. I'm not struggling with it, but I'm accepting it. Of course, I was against it back in the past, but I am I'm for it. You know, way the system's going down. It's just like a struggle with me to accept it, but I am accepting of it. It's hard to decipher. I mean, it's like I don't know. It's like can a trans woman be a gift from God? Can I accept a trans woman or as a gift as. But that's when you got that's when the human nature comes into play. You got we all got a lot of God's creations. All we got to love them as all equal. So
Mhm.
I look at it as that. We love all equal, all God's creations equally. That's how I'm trying to look at this transgender LGBTQ thing. Loving people as equal as they are human beings. But
Yeah. Well, men are gifts also, right?
yes, exactly. And vice versa.
Like I feel like men are gifts as well.
Yes.
But when people in their minds say that they don't feel like they're in their right body, then all of a sudden a lot of people are against them, and all of us they're no longer a gift. Right now, so I grew up with it because my grandmother, there's 5 kids. She had 2 sisters and 2 brothers, and both of her brothers were gay. One was more masculine, and the other one was very feminine.
Can I ask you a question before you go on? So, do you actually believe that someone can feel like they're in the wrong body?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, continue.
Well, is it different? I mean, is that the same thing as being gay? That you feel like you're in the wrong body?
No, that's not the
Yeah,
same thing
right.
because there's some women that feel like they should be in a man's body, but they're not attracted to women, and vice versa with men, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because like Caitlyn Jenner still likes
Yeah.
Well,
women,
So,
quote
so
unquote, quote unquote. You know what I mean? It's funny to
yeah,
me. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut
Like
you off. Go
women?
ahead.
but so in my experience, like so my one uncle that was super feminine, like, and for one thing, they were born back in the 20s and 30s. So they were hidden.
Mhm.
My great grandfather actually took the very feminine one and tried to get him fixed and had electroshock therapy done on him multiple times.
Wow.
And my mom and him, they were very close. We were a very close family. And she asked him, she says, "Have you ever been with a woman?" And he was appalled. Like he was super appalled by even the idea of trying to kiss a woman.
Mm.
Whereas the other brother, he was masculine and he married a lesbian so that they can just kind of,
Or had a secret life.
yeah.
Hmm.
So
Did
yeah,
they
right?
have any kids?
No, they never they never like lived together as far as I know or anything like that. But it was something like, because when you're at work, like way back in the day, they expect you to have a husband or a wife, and
That was the cover.
there's all kinds of things that were expected of you. And then both of them being gay, that was crazy coming out of one family with 2 boys, the only 2 boys, and both of the boys are gay. And oh my God, my great grandfather, he was so against it, obviously.
Yeah.
But
His namesake is going.
huh?
His namesake is going down.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but still, come on. Like I have a friend too. He literally disowned his son because his son said that he was gay, and then he says, "Oh, I think he's doing it. I think he's acting extra gay because I don't like it." I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, right? You don't even live in the same state and you don't even talk to him. So how do you say he's acting extra gay because you don't like it? Because I'm an alpha male. I'm never going to deal with that kid. I'm like, the kid's a grown man. And I feel bad. I feel bad for him. The kid, not my friend.
Now I know no one here is a scientist or a doctor, but when do you take the "I don't believe I'm in the right body" or that I'm gay? When do you take that? At what age do you take that seriously?
Yeah. See, really, man, I'm gonna be honest. I think that we're talking about something that we don't totally understand.
Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah,
agree. Yeah. I don't.
we don't totally understand it. But the idea of like androgynous beings. Did I say that word, androgynous?
Yeah.
The idea of androgynous beings is not new though,
No.
right? It's not new at all. You go back in history, and this has always been around. I just think it's something that exists, and the people who are expressing it in the way that they're expressing it, they're human beings and they're having a human experience. I think Dave Chappelle might have said that, but I believe that they're humans and they're having a human experience. It's just different from the experience that you and I are having, right?
Right.
So I don't have anything against them existing. Of course, they can exist and be the way that they are. Um, but when it comes to children, I think because we live in this society, because we live in this society where masculine and feminine are defined very clearly and have been. We tend to want to stick to those norms. So anything outside those norms, we have a problem with, especially if they're our offspring, right? Because growing up, if you was a male, I mean, I do get that they were I don't know if you call it discriminated against, but they were basically teased or seen as other.
Bullied, yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
yeah,
bullied
definitely.
coming up in our generation. So I do get that. And who wants to go through that, right?
Okay.
So I mean, I think it's just a thing of us accepting people who they are and where they are. And if we just did that, we'd be okay. But I think also that it doesn't have to be promoted, and I think that's the problem right now. I think it's being promoted,
Mm-hmm.
and it's being promoted to children in a way at a young age before they figured it all out, and I think that's what's dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right, let's just I just want to step back for a second. Because like you said, we don't know, and we're talking about something that we really don't understand. That was the comment that was
Mhm.
said. But even though we don't understand it, it's still moving forward. It's I mean, like, it's very prevalent. I
Mhm.
mean, it's moving at a to me a very fast pace.
Mhm.
It's, you know, what I
You-
mean, there isn't a show on TV. There isn't out there that doesn't have some type of same sex interaction, or you know.
Mhm.
All right, this is what someone this is what I hear. This is what someone told me before. That what's the next step? You know what I mean? Because they say if you're accepting of this thing of you can change gender.
Yeah.
If you accepted of that, and you can say that, well, this is how I was born. Like, I was born, and I was born a man,
Mhm.
but I feel like a woman. And I mean, I don't. Then what's the next step? I mean, so then I mean, we wouldn't accept it if it was a pederast.
If it was a what?
Pederast,
What?
A pederast?
What's
yeah,
that?
yeah. Pederast. Ever heard of that?
No.
Kid like kids.
Oh, a pedophile.
Yeah, pedophile. No, pederast. Pedophile is one who actually acts. But what if you said you were
Oh,
you were inclined for to that? You know what I mean? A pedophile is one who actually, you know what I'm saying, actually does said.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I'm saying the ones who have a proclivity to that, but may not act on it. You know what I mean? I mean, what would you say to that?
I'm not. I don't know if I'm really understanding where you coming from. I don't know what. I'm still not clear on the pederast. Like,
Okay. All right. So, all right. Let me see if I can clear it up. Okay. A person is transgender. Okay, let me see if I can put it in these terms. A person is transgender, and we are accepting of that. And they say they're predisposed, right? They have a predisposition. They have the, I don't know, the whatever gene in their head. You know what I mean? I don't know what it would be for a transgender. That they're predisposed. They're in the wrong body, and I, I want to say it. They're a man who has a predisposition and needs to be a woman.
All right, so why don't you make it plain, right? So you're a man and you feel like a woman.
Okay.
Right? So you're a man and you feel like you're a woman. You want to put on women's clothes and make makeup and all that, right?
Right.
All right.
Right.
So where we go? All right, from where?
Right. So then you want to put up women's. So then,
Right.
What if, and you say that I'm trying to find the right word in the word that you can't help it. You know what I mean? You can't help it. That's the way you're wired.
Yeah, you wired that way. Right.
Yeah. Okay. So if that's the case, what if somebody's wired to be a pederast?
You gotta go back to that word.
You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, say a pedophile. Say because of a pedophile is someone who actually acts on.
They prey on children, grown people that prey on children.
Right.
Yeah, right.
So, what if you were predisposed? I mean, if they can say that they're predisposed, how come the pedophile can't say they're predisposed? So like
they do say they do say that.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, you understand what I'm saying? I may not be saying it right, but do you get what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is this: you're talking about people who have these urges, sexual urges, right?
Yeah.
They got sexual urges and they act out these sexual urges, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we got laws in place and rules to this. Right. The age limit, all of that is in place because people, all kinds of people are out here. All kinds of people are out here, right? And you got people with criminal mind, and all of us here have thoughts that if we acted on these thoughts, it wouldn't be good for us or anybody else. Correct. Anybody can have a thought, right?
Right.
Anybody can have any kind of thought that just flows through their brain. And, if they decide to give it life, then it can grow and become something.
Mm-hmm.
So
but I don't think that they should, those two shouldn't be correlated because sex, the way you feel as a person, whether you feel male or female or other, has nothing to do with the physical act of sex or wanting to have physical relations with anyone. And pedophilia does.
Yes.
Right.
But that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying, pederast. But okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Right. So they get aroused, right? It's more than a thought. They actually get aroused. It's not just a thought.
Mm-hmm. Just because they don't do it, they haven't done it yet. They still they will get aroused from it.
Right. They get aroused.
Right. So I mean, the question I think is, what do you do with that? Right. What do you do with that? Right. So if they act on it, they get locked up.
Right.
All right. They need to deal with their I don't want to use this word, but they need to deal with
their problem.
I was going to use the word demons, right?
Their inclination.
But I can't really use that word, right? Because this is really how they feel. And I don't want to call them demonic. It's just how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
We have certain urges. People have certain fetishes. I mean, people have all kinds of things that, if they act them out, you might, either be placed in jail or people might think that you're weird or whatever.
Okay.
That's why we have the field of psychology, right? Mm-hmm. So you go talk to somebody.
I apologize for that because I kind of getting us off the track. That was not really what I'm going for. Was going with it. I was really going with trying to stay on the topic of people and living their own truth versus, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People like people's behavior and how they view themselves and quote unquote living their own truth versus what is the truth. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So, I mean, I don't want to just make it all about being,
Mhm.
gay, transgender, and because it's more to it than that. It's
But
deeper than
see,
that.
right.
It's like like today we seem to have like a sense of our opinions um to us are factual.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And we relay them and discuss them like they are facts when they are just what they are, opinions.
Right.
You know what I mean? Something our inclination is what we like to do.
Mhm.
So that's really I didn't want to kind of go on a tangent of I probably shouldn't have used pedophiles as that example, but yeah. So what do you think about that? Like because I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I see it as a behavior more than I see it as a conflict of like gender or I think that most of these people that do that uh they want to live a certain lifestyle, certain behavior. It's a behavior. You know what I mean?
Well, how about let me add this, right? If I can, because I always like to keep things at the level of the mind, right? Because all of this comes through people's minds. And I think that when you start to focus on certain thoughts, they grow and you give them life, right? And I don't think it's anything more than that, and to a large degree. There might be certain genes and hormones that are different from it within certain people, right? There's the term anomaly, right? Which means that everything's pretty much comes out one way, and then every now and then something comes out different, right?
Right. Hmm.
I think largely that's what it is. And I might get some heat from that right there. I don't want to call these people anomalies, but the majority of the people are, male and female, and understand themselves to be male and female,
Hmm.
right? Um, I think it's just yeah. I think that people don't have don't know who they are, right? And this is what gives rise to a lot of things. As human beings, we have the potential to be anything just about, right? But it's what we choose to give life to, which makes us the way that we are
Hmm.
in large degree, right? I'm not talking about those people who are definitely in their minds or in their makeup, they have um, they have different coding or different genetics, which makes them different from the rest of us. If you take like the Jenner person, right?
Okay.
Um, I think that's an extreme, right? I don't know why a person would. Yeah, we have to talk to those people because I can't explain what's in their mind, what's in their spirit, and why they feel the way that they feel. I can't explain it. If I try to explain it, and that's the problem. That's the problem with a lot of what goes on in the world. It's like we try to explain what's going on with other people. Um, I would just say that I'm accepting. Again, I don't wish them not to exist. They exist. They
Hmm.
can have a life. Why not? I'm here. Uh, they've been granted an existence as well, right? So I just think that if we understood who we are, and how the mind works, and how we give life to different thoughts and ideas, and we follow these thoughts down a certain road, that's what leads to everything we see.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. We can.
There we go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. How are you doing?
Good.
You Blake Bush tonight? That's dope.
Yes, I'm Blake H. Bush tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Blake H. Bush this evening. I'm Blake H. Bush because everybody in the world in this country gets to choose and identify what they like to be, and they can run with it, and people accept it. So today, I'm Blake H. Bush, and just for the moment, I am completely Caucasian. Because I choose, because that's what I identify and choose and want to be. So,
Okay.
you know, that's what we can do. And you know what's amazing about that?
What's that?
What's amazing about that is I get my DNA test done and I'm 30% European. So I actually have the right to identify as a European. And guess what? I can't even get that acceptance, but I can walk around and be something else though, and it's okay. So from here on out, I'm Blake.
Okay, Blake.
I'm Blake. That's what I want to be, and I dare anybody to say that I can't. I mean, because that's the reality it is.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about now.
I like the word B1. I'm an anomaly. So when they have to go into the educational system and show this big black man in kindergarten, have to explain to the children, no, that is Blake H. Bush and he's Caucasian, and you can confuse the kids because they're going to try to understand how that works. How does that work?
Yeah, and see, you know what? There's a split. There's an issue that's like a dividing issue, right? One is being part of the LGBTQ community, and the other issue is being able to identify and have the rest of us identify you as something that you choose to call yourself, right? And I think that's where the confusion comes in. Like you can be gay all day, but a male with male anatomy is now able to force us to call him a she, right?
Yeah.
Which
Or
is
they,
a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. So I get Nesto's point. Yes, that's a problem. You trying to now
B1. I'm sorry to correct you. I'm not Nesto now. I'm Blake. You got to get my name correct. I'm Blake, man.
Right, I'm correct.
I'm Blake Bush.
So we know Blake. We know him as Nesto all this time, and so today he comes in, and now he's Blake.
And see the confusion he's causing.
Yeah, he's causing a whole bunch of confusion. And if there's no standard, then that's what you got, confusion.
Yeah.
And if that's what they're putting, that's what they say. It seems like it's being pushed, a bunch of confusion, right? And so just to keep it right there, that's what it seems to be. They're trying to push confusion on us.
But also acceptance too. They want us to accept the fact that they have some rights and issues.
Well, acceptance.
Blake H. Bush. I know.
Acceptance.
What?
Acceptance, like I said earlier, acceptance is there, can be there. We can talk about acceptance. Yes, I accept you, but you're not going to now gaslight me and make me call you a male when you're a female, or call you a female when you're a male, because the anatomy expresses who you are, right? So no, I'm not going to call.
But that's not how they feel.
Will I be wrong for saying this? I don't want to be attacked, man. This is not a good time, but I don't want to be attacked. But sometimes you just got to say something, man. Listen, grown-ups all over, please listen to this. Grown-ups use rationale in their brain. Who cares about your feelings after a certain age?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is grown-up stuff here, man. You know what I mean? I want to use an example right quick, Law, and I'll let you have the floor. I promise you, because I talked about this with someone previous to this, and I want to say just this. You know, instead of people, and I'm going to go back to race to go back into this. Instead of folks trying to push the agenda of what they are, push the agenda of who you are, and what you are doesn't even matter. It'll just going to roll anyway. So what I'm saying is, you're a good person, you law abide, and you handle your business. You're hardworking, you're sociable, you're living a good, healthy life. Those things supersede your sexuality or color anyway. And if you're doing the right things in it, that shouldn't be the emphasis anyway, just on your life. If your life is a pie, why are you emphasizing 90% of the pie and making 90% of the pie that? I'm quite sure it's more to a person than just that. And that's what I think is the issue. You're trying to force something on someone instead of just being yourself and allowing people to see who you truly are, instead of just emphasizing, oh, that person's this. You see what I mean? And that is why it's become a problem. What about the person in all of this? I didn't know that sexuality made up the complete person. And that's why I think my issue with the forcing of it.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's your business. That's your business. What else is it? What else is it to you? Like, you know what I'm saying? This is what you're for. Like, come on, man. Your sexuality, your business. So what else are you forcing? We're talking about forcing civil rights, man. People getting hanged off trees, man. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People's getting hung off trees, man. People's getting hung off trees, man. Come on.
I hear what you're saying. I've always hated that analogy of comparing it to the civil rights movement.
I told you that though. I told you in my last episode that was my ultimate issue within that community.
Okay.
It's very simple. People had blood, sweat, and tears for a lot of years to get people to a certain level of advancement. Once they got to this advancement, I feel like don't piggyback or do not act like you cannot support the movement that help you progress your own movement. Meaning, like I say, black people die every day in the street, man. We got all type of things against us, and they're not marching with us. Nobody's stepping out as a community, as their community say, hey, help this situation, or how can we assist in this situation, considering we have piggyback off your laws.
All right. Well, the pushback to that is, black people are transgender, gay, LGBTQIA plus.
Hey, Law, which makes it even more an emphasis. If that's the case, you should understand it double time. Then, if that's the case, you see what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So that's. Man, I just feel like it's bigger things. Like I say, Blake H is here. Blake H is here. I'm not pushing that agenda anyway. I'm pushing the Caucasian agenda tonight. Y'all got it wrong tonight, man. It's about this agenda tonight. It's about supremacy this evening. Because I choose it.
All right, so you think they choosing their thing, or are they trying to say they were born that? Because they say they're born that way. Are you saying that they trying to choose, or are you trying to say?
I'm saying make up your mind, because based on statistics, anybody that worked within family service, children's business, or anything with kids, we know statistics say that a lot of children who are exposed to that young, this is what happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So y'all tell me, I keep hearing all these reasons why. Y'all tell me then. You're saying first is exposure. Now you're saying you're born this way.
All right, well, let's ask this question. How many people here believe that you can be born that way?
In 2022, it's going to take, I know y'all going to be like, oh, he's crazy. Blake H. Bush believes in 2022, yes.
You can.
And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to say that. I know y'all going to be like, he's crazy, but I'm not. This is why. I'm I'm gonna say this slow to the world. Chemical, biological warfare is real. Do not overlook it. Please do not overlook it.
So you think that's why people are being gay? That's why people are born gay?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, see, this is what I'm saying. It's so crazy out here in the world because, like, you can hear like the red colored dye gives people certain behaviors, or you eat this certain food genetic. Like, this is why I'm saying all of this. Is so much confusion in why and what.
But how about
Do
this?
you understand?
How about this though? Because I watch a lot of nature videos, right? All the time. Right?
Yes,
I'm always
me too. I love National Geographic. B1. Shout out to National Geographic.
Something surprised me the other day, right? I saw these two male lions, right? They was getting ready. They was going to decide whether they was going to take over this pride. They was two bastards or whatever. They both had full manes. One of them got turned submissive, and the other one just got up and started humping them. Right? I saw gorillas do the same thing.
Well, that's
gorillas.
Nature.
Hold on.
But
I'm just trying to say that what's in nature is also in us, and what's in us is also in nature, right? And it's across the board. There's creatures out here that are both male and female, right? So when we look at nature, right, and what exists out here, because we think this whole existence is about humans, right? We think this is a human existence, right? Forget the sharks and the whales, the monkeys, the giraffes. This is all about humans, right? But if you take a look, if you step back and look in the natural world to try to figure out what might be going on with the human, you find that these tendencies are also in other animals, right? So it's not unique to human beings, right?
Okay, so you think it's genetics?
If it's not unique to human beings and it's in nature, then that means it occurs across the board. And that means that you're going to get it. People are going to be born with certain tendencies attracted to the same sex. So hold on. Now, if you're saying that there's an agenda, and there very well could be an agenda to emasculate and feminize, like
there certainly is.
There very well could be.
There certainly is.
But all I'm saying is,
Blake sit back and not the camera.
Agenda aside, right? Let's not act like it don't happen or it don't occur naturally, because it does.
Yeah, right? I won't knock that, B. And I'm gonna tell you another reason that I won't knock it, because I also know, and I'm not a biologist, anything like that, but I know enough to know that in the womb, there's this formulation going on to where there does become a decision to where that your child's gonna be a male or a female, and it's something that I know medically. Medically, it's something that was brought to my attention. I don't know her name now, but this was this big controversy some years back about that track star. They kept saying she was running. She was a track star, and she was tearing them up. And they kept saying that may have been a male. I think she was, what is her name?
South African, Samia something.
Oh, yeah. And someone made mention to me, they said, well, sometimes they come out the womb, they have both parts, both male and female, and you have to decide at that moment what you want it to be or what have you. And I'm sorry about that, guys. Can y'all see me?
Nope. You're kind of frozen.
You froze up.
All right. So, piggybacking off of what he said, then how you feel about when it dips into that kind of a realm? Because we also have how do you feel when it dips into the realm of Caitlyn Jenner being called Woman of the Year?
That was not. Yeah, that's come on, man. That's what I mean by the far fetched. Even the girl that's doing this. Well, they call him the girl, but the
swimmer you're talking about.
The swimmer.
And
they're giving out and
Yeah.
And what's going to happen? See, and this is why I'm talking about identity and then and choices. And it's okay, you know, what have you. But you have to expect, as a society, that once you do that, once you open the door to that, that now the door will forever be open and it will forever be a downfall. Because like I said, there's a quadrillion things out here a person can identify themselves with. And as long as if you have accepted one set of people identifying themselves and laws have been set and precedents has been set, everyone else who identifies as something is going to want those same things, especially if they believe in it. So that means in the next 10 years, somebody can think they're a shark and really believe it. Then what are you going to do? What are you going to do if 10 years from now, a community of people come out and say, we're sharks, we're mermaids, and we want rights and we want to live in the water? And I mean, I'm asking. I mean, I'm not trying to be but this is what it does.
Humans have been around for a long time, man. Long time.
Okay, so see, you're just so okay. There it is. No more than I'm serious. I feel like if I want to say I'm Blake H. Bush, I can, and I can say that because in my blood is that blood.
Well, that's cool.
I really can say that.
Hold on. You can say that, and that's cool. You can say whatever you want, but when it turns to, let's say, like we were talking about, the swimmer that was a male but now wants to be considered a female. Now he's going out there winning all these races, versus actual women who were conceived as women and raised as women and worked their behinds off to get to that level, and he comes and wrecks the whole thing.
But that go back to your original question, right? What's
so
a male?
What's okay to be accepted in that regard?
No,
because it's not fair.
No, men produce testosterone. Yes. Women produce estrogen. There's a difference, right?
Yeah.
So the rest of us are going to have to put a stop to it and be like, no, which is what's happening. Like, no, you cannot change your sex and compete with women. You cannot.
Well, he has.
No, they try taking that back. They
took his trophies back and everything too.
They're gonna reverse that. The issue is this, man. The numbers do not lend to them actually getting their way on whatever they say they're going to. They should define as. The rest of us have to step up and say, no, this is unfair. How are you going to compete when you're biologically a male, right? How is it that you're able to compete with? Well, no, it's not going to happen. There's a difference between men and women, and we just got to keep saying that because that's what it's coming down to. It's coming down to them saying that there is no difference. You can choose to be what you want to be, and that's just not true. It's just not true. You're not going to make me believe that it's true. You're not going to make me accept that it's true because nature says that it's not true. You can be gay or homosexual or whatever you want to be. That's your choice. But you're not going to make me accept or call you other than what we've traditionally throughout history have always understood it to be. Right? I mean, the fact that we having this conversation is crazy. But this is where we're at. This is where we're at. They got.
But why are we having the conversation? Again, we're having a conversation because someone opened the door and said this is acceptable. Do you see what I'm saying? And that this is what we have.
It was okay to be gay or quote unquote lesbian, but now it's taking a step to it was even okay to be transgender, but now it's when you transgender. You are the other gender now, which is not true. Which is not true. It's not true. You're not. You can have an operation, but you're still not a woman.
It's causing us a lot of. It's causing us a lot of.
Still not a man,
distrust, right? It's causing the rest of us to
but then but then when you come up and say that you're not, but then now you're whatever phobic it is now.
Yeah,
you know what I
mean? Yes, you come up, you
know,
go against that belief, yes.
Because you don't want to help that person in their efforts to identify themselves as what they want to be identified as versus what they are.
That's like saying, like let's say a person is racist, right? and they don't like a certain race of people. So, well, let me back up off of that.
But B, I can't change my race. I can
Yeah,
change
but,
being a male
right,
in this society. And you
right.
can jump in there anytime you want, Sean. You sitting back there.
I'm just listening because, you know,
Okay, if you disagree, jump in.
I'm just listening.
I mean, I think it's causing us to
Never
take
hurt
bar.
anybody's feelings.
Yeah,
No, I think, you know what it is? I think too, because men and women think differently.
Okay, but you're on the panel, so let's hear what you think.
You you have. I think that I am more accepting of it and the how someone wants to be identified. Okay, so not as this is not as extreme as somebody saying I want to be identified as a woman or I want to be identified as a male. I want to be identified as Sean Tillman, married to William Tillman, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I started working at my current job, I worked there previously and I was married to someone else at the time. So my ID was still in the system with that name. And my current ID is still with that name. They would not change it because I got married. And I was like, you don't know the circumstances that led to the divorce or like any trouble. You have no idea what happened and why I don't want to identify with this name every single day of working here. And they will not change it. They simply refuse. And when I first started back, they actually gave me my new ID, which was, you know, my initials with my last name, Tillman. But they took it back and they said, because you already had this in the system, this is who you are to us.
Now, that's kind of weird to me.
It is weird, but you don't want to be in an extreme situation. You don't want somebody to say, oh, well, this is who you are to me. I don't care. You don't want somebody that sees a black man who is absolutely doing wrong, who is like maybe like killed someone or whatever, and is just a bad person. And then they associate that black person with you. And they go, this is absolutely who you are. And you know in your heart that you're not that.
I agree, Sean, but I'm gonna just push back on it in this way because that's what we're talking about. What is the truth? The truth is you are Sean Tillman.
The truth is I am Sean Tillman, but the truth is to my job, I am not Sean Tillman.
Well, but they're in the wrong, is what I'm saying.
You are in the wrong. And just like I would be in the wrong if I associated you with somebody else who's doing wrong. I would be wrong for that. So
but you're not asking them you're not asking them or telling them that you're somebody that you're not. You're telling them who you are.
I'm telling them who I am.
It's not made up. It's not a fable. It's the truth. It's legal documentation leading to that.
Right.
Correct.
But they're not listening. And so if you feel that you
see, that's what I'm saying, Sean. You saying I feel. It's not that you feel you Sean Tillman. You are Sean Tillman.
I know I'm Sean Tillman, but some people know that they are not the sex that they're assigned at birth.
Okay.
There are people that know that. People that know that. And the prevalence of it now, I think, is because it was hidden for so long. And people are born with these natural inclinations, right? Just like B1 said, it's a natural thing for any species. For any species. When I tell you, in the beginning, I said both of my uncles born in the 20s were both homosexual. And they had to hide it. They couldn't be in the streets, walking around acting feminine or anything. They did all they could to hide it. And then, I see pictures of them in their groups. They had groups because in like underground groups with all the pictures of their friends and them having their parties, and some men dressed like women and women dressed like men, and it's a lot of people, but they could not speak their truth for fear of retribution or reprisal or something along those lines. They could have been hurt, they could have been killed. And as people started letting go and saying this is who they are, obviously we've seen a lot of people have been killed over that. We've seen a lot of people, teenagers, commit suicide over that because they don't know how to express who they are, and they know that it's not going to be accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, everybody. Real quick. I just want to give everybody 60 seconds. We got to keep it under an hour this time. We were pushing it.
Right.
We had 5 minutes, so B1, you first. Go for it.
All right. I just want to say that the reason why this is happening is because we live under certain norms, and when the norms get shaken up, you're going to get pushed back. You're going to get resistance. People who are homosexual, gay, have always contributed to society. The first march, the 63 march, I think, in Washington, actually was organized by A. Philip Randolph, who was actually gay, right? What's the guy? There's been other gay activists, people who were, not masculine men, but contributed to our advancement. So we need to acknowledge that. We need to accept that. And we need to get over our whole thing about, other people who are other than us, right? Because they're here and we need to accept it. Where I draw the line is where they're promoting it and it's as a lifestyle to children. That shouldn't happen. All right. That's
Thanks. All right, Blake, you got 60. Still there, Blake?
Yeah, I'm here, and I was going to piggyback off B1 with that. I mean, to each his own. Like I said, Law B1 Boogaloo Sean. I wouldn't care. You're all heterosexual, and guess what? Can I be honest with you? I want to hear the stuff you do in your bedroom, and you're heterosexual. Yet alone, you know what I mean? It's your business when it comes to your sexuality and what you choose to your lifestyle is your choice, but you cannot force it on children and people because it will cause a confusion. If someone says that it's their natural way, then they'll find their natural course. We don't need to add fuel to that. No more than I need to walk around and say my name is Blake H. Bush and I'm the next Irish king.
Okay. All right, Boogaloo, 60.
Yes, we piggyback on all you guys are saying. Yeah, I agree that they should have their lifestyle. They should have their agenda going. But like you said, don't force it. I just want to make sure we are not gay bashing. We're not putting down gays or homophobic. We're not being homophobic with this session. We just basically want to have a dialogue about the topic in hand. I'm just going to put that disclaimer out there. We're not being homophobic. And I just think that we love all people. So it doesn't matter if you're gay or bisexual or doesn't matter all that. So that's my take on.
All right, I'm gonna give mine. I believe we should be tolerant of all people. I'm not gonna lie. I am definitely into family. Okay. I believe in procreation. That being said, it's not my way or the highway. I'm not the ruler. So people have to make their own path and do as they seem fit. And if you feel as though you're in the wrong body or what have you, I can't argue with you, and it's not my place to. So yeah, I don't know if you would call me tolerant, acceptant, or what you would call me, but yeah, definitely everybody should make their own way and be tolerant of everyone. Don't harm anyone, no matter what your beliefs are, or what what it is you're trying to your agenda you're trying to push for. All right, Sean, I'm sorry you don't have a whole 60. You got more like 40.
That's okay. I just want to say that I don't believe like pushing agendas basically says that if you're a gay couple, you shouldn't have children because then the kids will get a sense of it, and that's not fair. That's not fair to them.
Okay.
That's all I got.
All right.